You are tuned in to another episode of Kitchen Talk with Chef Big Bank, Season 3, Episode 75. We are just chugging along here. We're almost at 100 episodes. So, if you have missed any episodes, be sure to go back and check them out so you know exactly what we're talking about, exactly what we're cooking, and what is going on. Hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel on your way in. And support the channel, put some money on the table so that we can keep the stove on and continue to cook over here at 907 Good Eats. Today, we are making chicken and potato veggie soup. Let me walk you guys through my ingredient list. So, we made a turkey soup the other day and it was delicious. So, I said, I want another soup. Okay, so I got my potatoes, I peeled and diced them, and I put them on the stove for about like 20 minutes or so, just so they'll be softened when I put them in the soup. So the potatoes are ready to drain, and they are pretty much like part cooked. So that when I add them into the soup, for the purposes of this video, the soup will be done very, very quickly. I also place my chicken in the air fryer with some Montreal chicken seasoning. So I have chicken here, and then I have a mirepoix. I told y'all what a mirepoix was last time, but don't worry, I'm gonna help y'all learn everything you need to know about cooking. So a mirepoix is carrots, celery, and onions. It is commonly used in soups and like stews and a variety of other cooking dishes. But what it does is it adds aromatics and it really helps build that flavor for your soup. So we have our mirepoix back here that we're going to cut up. We have some fresh garlic, and I have been telling y'all about fresh garlic. So we got some garlic here, and this is only 99 cents for this whole bowl. It's just, I think it's a great deal. And then we have some flour here and butter. And when I've been telling y'all this, you need these two things to make a roux to thicken your sauces or your soups or stews. And hey, Shannon, how are you doing? So, flour, butter. Y'all know how I feel about seasonings. We got a lot of seasonings here for our soup. We have black pepper, sea salt, which is the salt that I choose to use. We got those two things right there. And y'all have got to try Tabitha. Her seasoning is really, really good. It is called Very Good Garlic Seasoning. Let me go a little bit closer so y'all can see it. But try this seasoning when you see it in the store. It's worth getting. So, and then we also have this Grill Mates roasted garlic and herb. I got this seasoning the other day and I really, really like it. And we have our Montreal chicken seasoning as well. So yes, y'all, a lot of seasonings. We got our Italian seasoning, which is a bunch of herbs, basil, oregano, rosemary, thyme, parsley, and garlic. So we about to make some good soup, y'all. Hit the like button on your way in. And what I'm gonna do, I want to kind of drain these potatoes. So yes, those are all our ingredients. We're gonna get started by draining our potatoes and then cutting everything up. Then we are going to saute our mirepoix in butter in the pot. We're gonna let that saute, let it cook down, let those flavors really come out and release those aromatics. And then we are going to build our roux in the pots and we're going to just make our soup. One pot dish. If you wanted to, you can add these ingredients to the crock pot. Make a roux if you want your sauce to be or your soup to be a little bit thicker. And then when you come home, ready to go, you can add your roux to it. But y'all, I don't know. Where's everybody watching from, first of all? I am in Alaska and it is very, very cold. So it is definitely soup season. So let's get started. I'm going to drain these potatoes off. And I'm going to run a little bit of cold water over them. And then we are going to start cutting up our mirepoix. Okay, so we have the potatoes. So here are our potatoes. And I did peel them for this specific dish. You do not have to peel your potatoes if you want to keep them with the skin on. That is perfectly fine. So we're going to start by cutting up our mirepoix. That's the first thing we got to get going or get done. Normally I do this before you guys get here, but during the Thanksgiving, I discovered that you guys like watching me prep. So here we are. And before I cut up the celery and the carrots, I am going to give them a rinse. Okay. And how's everybody doing today? So I did go live earlier today and I had different types of cheeses. And I had wine, I had a charcuterie board, different types of cheeses and meats, and I actually have a little bit of wine left. Y'all know this is our late night cooking session. That means we just gonna sit in here, we just gonna chill, and we are gonna relax. But really great live stream. Make sure that you guys check it out. A lot of great cheeses, great conversation. Oh, and before I forget, um, so what I like to do when I prep, I'll have another bowl here for like my waste or any of the compost or any of the part of what I'm cutting that's not edible. Instead of me running back and forth to the trash can, especially when I'm on these lives, I will have a bowl nearby and I will just put all my waste in there and then go to the trash can one time. So that I'm not leaving the foodie gang in here the whole time. So we are just going to cut up our celery. And I have my notebook here, but I'm going to move it. And this is my handy dandy notebook. This is where I write down all of the recipes. One day I will have a cookbook. But until then, I got a notebook. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so I'm going to do a pretty large dice on my celery. And then I got my bowl back here. And we're just going to start cutting up all our stuff for our soup. And you guys, if you have vegetables in the fridge that are going bad, or, you know, if you have a lot of, like, different leftovers, you can make a soup. The other day, I made a soup out of my leftover turkey from Thanksgiving. So if you have a lot of leftovers or you have vegetables that are going bad, make a soup. Okay, so we have our celery in here. We got our celery ready to go. So we almost got the mirepoix. I cut up a little bit of my onions, but some of them are not cut. So I am just going to cut the rest of my onions, and then that will be done. The next thing we got to do after that is we need to peel our carrots and cut them up. Some people don't like to peel their carrots. Some people do. It's totally up to you what you want to do. It is up to you. So we have our onions here. And so we almost got our mirepoix ready. So y'all see the onions. We got the celery here, and then we need carrots. And that is going to be a mirepoix. And what it does is if you're making a soup or if you're making stock, a mirepoix is so important. It really adds that, you know, depth of flavor. And then what you do is you saute the vegetables. I'm like looking for my carrots. Oh, where are my carrots at? Okay. We got our carrots here. Y'all can see they are looking pretty ugly. So what we're going to do is we're going to peel our carrots. We're going to peel our carrots. And for my soup, I kind of like to do a large dice on everything. But if you're someone who wants to do a small dice or you want to cut everything up into really small pieces, that is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You can cut it however you would like. I like to just do a large dice so that, you know, in my soup I have like, you know, pretty big chunks of vegetables. Okay, so I got the carrot peeled, and you guys can see how different the carrot looks when you peel it. This is peeled, and then this is an unpeeled carrot. And so if you want your dish to be more presentable, peel your carrots. Peel your carrots. Yeah, so your dish can look more presentable. You know, peel your carrots. Some people don't peel their carrots. I think I heard that the skin of the carrots is good for you. I think I heard that. I'm not too sure. I have to do some research on this. Okay, I am not sure what tomorrow's live stream is going to be about, but I am going to go live tomorrow. I'm not sure. I guess I got to sit down and look at my schedule and see what time I'm going to be able to. But definitely going to go live tomorrow. And then I'll be back here on Sunday as well. So remember what I said, like, when you have the bowl for your compost, instead of, like, running back and forth to the trash can, you can just have a bowl right here. You can put all of your, like, your food scraps in there, all your waste. That's the word I was looking for, waste. Then, before I cut my carrots, I'm just going to rinse off my cutting board. Just because there's a little piece of the skins on there. Not bad, but y'all, I'm just going to give my cutting board a quick rinse. In the kitchen, we would have a bucket of soap and then a bucket of sanitizer. And what we would do between each vegetable, we would sanitize our cutting boards. Which, they, you know, they say was necessary, but when you really think about it, it's like, are we not putting sanitizer in everybody's food? You know what I'm saying? So, and then for these, I'm just going to slice these like this. So, like I said, I like to have big pieces of fruit in my soup. And the recipe is already down below. Oh, it's already there. Your girl's growing up. Sometimes I'll have the recipes before we pull up and before we go live. And sometimes I'll have to update them after. It kind of just depends on how my day is going. But I had time and I put the recipe down below already for you guys so that you guys can try this soup at home. And when you're cutting, you want to have your fingers back, and then you want to, like, your knife will be right here. And so if you do nick your knuckles, it won't be your fingers. But you should try not to cut yourself. Like, that should be the goal. But that is the way you're supposed to cut. And it's hard, y'all. I went to a whole knife cutting class. So if you didn't go to the class, you probably ain't gonna be cutting like that. But keep your fingers back. Keep your fingers back. I saw a lot of accidents. Okay, we got our carrots cut up. We got our celery. And then we have our onion. So our mirepoix is completely done. Ready to go. If you are making a soup and it calls for a mirepoix, do not try to skip this step. This is really important in building the flavors of your soup. And one of the important things with soup is definitely flavor. You know, so I'm going to rinse my cutting board off again just to get these pieces off of here. I tell you, you know, the biggest part to cooking, it feels like we're washing dishes all the time. Hey, Hawk, how are you doing? I haven't seen you. How was your trip to Jamaica? How was your trip? Girl, I am just up here, late night cooking session. I am making a chicken and potato veggie soup. I have my mirepoix cut up. I have my potatoes already par cooked. And Hawk said it was good. Yes, I remember you telling me you lived in Atlanta and you were going to Jamaica and you were flying out that night. And that, now that I think about it, that's probably why I haven't seen you. And I have a little bit of parsley here. I'm going to cut a little bit of parsley to put on top. And then after we cut the parsley, we're going to cut our chicken. And then we're going to start building our soup. You guys know that it's soup season. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Oh my goodness, we got Mr. Troy in the building. He said, hey, 907, what's good? Mr. Troy, we're just doing a late night cooking session. I am making soup. But you guys, if you guys are on YouTube, go ahead and check out Mr. Troy. He's making some great content over there. And really great person. Very, very funny. I be rolling when I be hearing Mr. Troy talk. I be rolling. But y'all check out his YouTube channel. And so before I cut my parsley, I'm just going to give it a quick rinse. You know, in the stores, they do rinse all this stuff. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't really trust it. So what I do is I'll give my parsley a quick rinse with like warm water. And then I will get a paper towel. And then I will wrap the parsley in the paper towel and try to get a lot of the water off. But Hawk said, working. I'm ready to take another trip somewhere. You know what, Hawk? You have to slow down. Because your girl ain't even been able to get one trip in. You making multiple trips. The last trip I took was to Vegas, and I did a food vlog, and it's on my YouTube channel, but that was in April, and we're about to be in a new year, so I'm going to be saying I haven't taken a trip since last year in a little bit, and so we got our parsley right here, but shout out to the chat and the moderators, shout out to my night crew. You know, I like to go live in the daytime and then I'll go live at night just because it's a different crew. You know, during the day people might be working, you never know. And so when you go live at night and the daytime, you just see different people that you haven't seen in a while, because like Hawk said, working. You know, Foodie Gang, doesn't it feel like sometimes you just work to be working? And it's like you work for all this stuff, but you never get to enjoy it. You never get to enjoy it. It's like you pay all this rent and you're never at home. It's crazy, right? But you gotta keep going, and if you stop, it's all gonna fall apart. So, but the good thing is when you eat good food, come over here to 907 Goodies. We're gonna be cooking up some good food, and we're gonna be chilling. So I got my parsley right here. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna hop over and we're gonna cut up our chicken. I cooked this chicken in the air fryer with some Montreal chicken seasoning. So, seasoning is the key. If anybody tells you not to season their food, don't believe them. And Hawk said my B-Day is in April. Hopefully I can go somewhere then. I like Vegas. I only went once, but wouldn't mind going back. There's a lot to do in Vegas. I see why people take multiple trips to Vegas because there's just so much to do, so much to see. And Hawk said, I'm tired of working. I need to win the lottery. I know. I was just telling my sister, I was like, I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of not having no money. I'm tired. Like, something gotta change. But have you guys ever saw those TV shows where people win the lottery and then they go broke? Look, I don't even care. Let me go broke. Because right now I am broke. So going broke and being broke is two different things. But let me get a couple of meals. Let me get some money. And let me live my best life for the couple of years I got. At least you can say you have money. But now, when you're broke, you can't even say that. And Hawk said, right. Okay, so I got some Riesling. I think I'm saying it right. I did a cheese tasting earlier, and I had some wine there. I got a little bit left. So, when you are at home and you're cooking, you should enjoy it. You should enjoy it. It should be a fun experience. It shouldn't be very, very stressful. And Hawk said, right? Yeah, let me win the lottery and go broke. I wouldn't mind it. Okay, so now we are going to hop over and we are going to cut our chicken up. So we got our parsley, we got our mirepoix cut up, then we got our chicken that I cooked in the air fryer. I believe I did 20 minutes at 370. And this is the chicken, and y'all can see the season on there. You know what I want to make? I want to make a chicken sandwich. Like a burger bun, have chicken. We have not done that on 907 Goodies yet. And then Hawk, I know, right? She said, at least I can say I wasn't always broke. Amen to that. Amen to that. I'll be happy to go broke. That's key word, going broke versus being broke. It is a difference. But I don't want to live my whole life poor. Doesn't that sound sad? But so that's how we feel in America. But I will say, I did a live stream where I reviewed this video that I saw. And in the video, I believe it was in the Philippines. Let me get some gloves. I believe it was in the Philippines, right? So in the Philippines, they have this thing called pog pog, where they would use leftovers from Jollibee and McDonald's. And when I say leftovers, I'm not talking about the kind you get out the fridge. They was digging through the trash, picking out leftovers from Jollibee and McDonald's. They would take that home and then they would clean the leftovers. And then they would sanitize it. They would clean it in like boiling water. And then they would make 3 new dishes off of the scraps. Y'all, when I say that these people were so happy, so happy. And it was crazy. But, you know, I say that story to say that even though we're not rich, we still do got to be thankful for what we do have, because it could be a lot worse. You know, we could be eating trash. But they were, and then they were very happy, and they also call the place where they live, they call it Happy Land, because everyone is so happy there. And it's like, you wouldn't think that they would be happy because they're not eating, you know, what we would consider to be, you know, top of the line food. But they were still happy. And so that's the important thing, is to stay humble and be happy. Yeah. Yeah, y'all, be humble, be happy. But Hawk, I'm so glad that your vacation went good. And I'm glad that you even got a vacation, because I am jealous. Um, and then Hawk said, we do take a lot for granted. It could be worse. But shoot, it could be better. Laugh out loud. And you know what? That is very true. Like, honestly, it can go both ways. It can be better and it can be worse. It can go both ways. Um, but I do feel like we do take a lot for granted. But, you know, I still be thankful about what I got. I be thankful. But I do want to live a life where I can go to the store and spend $300 and not be affected. Or I can go shop and be okay. I want to be able to go buy a new car and be okay. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, when your car breaks down and you be like, dang, that's all the money I had. I want my car to break down and I'm going to be okay with it. But until then, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we also got to work for all these things that we want. Scamming never goes well. I'll just say that, y'all. Okay, so now we are almost ready, where we are going to start cooking. Let me get a little bit of this stuff cleaned up. And Hawk said, right, and not be adding in my head as I shop. Yes! And I feel like it's so stressful. It just is. It's like you count every dollar. I'm like, it's just so stressful. And it's like, even when you go buy something new, you low-key can't even be that happy, because you're like, I you know, now I got to sacrifice this, and that. Okay, foodie gang, we finna get started on the cooking part. We finna get started. Y'all hit the like button. Join this channel and become a member. And y'all know how I am. I gotta clean up. But yes, Hawk, I agree with you. It's like, I don't want to have to be worried about money, but it's hard to not be worried about money when you ain't got none. Okay, and during my last live stream, somebody asked me if I had saltine crackers, and I didn't. So I went out and got some saltine crackers for our soup. I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. And sometimes, Foodie Gang, y'all be helping me out, because I'll be forgetting about stuff, like ingredients, and then y'all will say something. I'm like, that's a good idea. Okay, let me bend this down a little bit. Let me give y'all... There we go. Can y'all see everything? Okay, so we're going to move our chicken out of the way. We're going to put our pot on low heat. Or not, sorry, medium heat, which is about 6. We're going to add our butter into our pots. We are going to add our butter into our pot. So we are making a chicken and potato veggie soup. Chicken and potato veggie soup. So we got our butter in there. When our butter gets melted a little bit more, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add that mirepoix that I was telling you guys all about. the celery, carrots, and onions. And what this does is it releases aromatics and it really builds that flavor. Soup is all about building flavors. And oh my goodness, we forgot to cut up the garlic. Look, I was over here talking to the foodie gang. I forgot to cut up the garlic. So, we are still going to start cooking that. Oh, it's a little bit crooked. Let me fix it. We are still going to start cooking it while it's cooking. I'm going to be over here cutting up garlic because garlic is so important. And we got our chicken here. And y'all can see it's seasoned so well. And I got my crackers over here. I'm putting them on the table. See, this is why you don't be sipping while you're cooking. That's okay though, but you want to be safe. If you're one of them people where you take a sip and you can't function no more, I don't even recommend this. But Chefbigbank is a pro low key, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so my butter is melted. I'm gonna add in my onions. I'm gonna add in that celery. And feel free to add these all in at the same time. And just let them saute. Let me see if I can. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's an even better view. Even better. Y'all seeing inside of the pot. Okay, then we got our celery. And Hawk said it's going to taste even better. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But like I said, if you're one of the people where you take a little sip and you can't function, don't even do this. So we're just going to give that a stir. And I'm going to wash off my cutting board and get the garlic cut up. Yes, I could make this soup without garlic, but I'm telling you that fresh garlic really does add a layer of flavor. And then we have our chicken left over that we're going to add. We have our potatoes that are par cooked. If you're at home, you can just cut up potatoes and put them right in here. But it's a good idea to like cook them a little bit. I boil them in water just so that they're a little bit soft. Let me do this. And then you just let that saute, and let it saute for probably like 10 to 15 minutes. Oh my goodness, we got Coach Bird in the building. What's going on, Trey? Trey, how you doing? Trey, today we are making soup. Chicken and potato veggie soup. I have my mirepoix in here, which is carrots, celery, and onions. And I'm letting this just saute in butter. I'm going to let it cook for a little bit. I'm going to add my garlic in here. And then we're going to build our roux right in this pot. And I forgot. We're going to be using chicken broth. I almost forgot the broth, y'all. But we wasn't going to get far without this. But we're going to do chicken broth for this soup. And foodie gang, I am behind on my soup making. So, we got a lot of soups coming up in our future. And I know you guys have been asking for broccoli cheddar soup. We're going to be making that very, very soon here. I got some broccoli, I got some milk, I have everything for it. So, we're going to be making that pretty soon. Okay, so I forgot to cut up the garlic, and so I'm back here cutting up garlic, and I have my mirepoix sauteing in butter. And for garlic, what I do is I'll pick off these cloves and then I'll smash this with my knife, and that helps it so I can peel the skin. And we're going to put 3 cloves of garlic in here. And y'all, we are using fresh garlic. I know that they have the jar garlic that you can get from the store. And I used to use that one a lot. But I'm telling you, this fresh garlic is a game changer. So you just smash it with your knife, and then you peel the skin. Then there you have it. It's all peeled, and all I have to do is cut it up. This is a big one right here. This is a big one right here. Let me try to... But how's everybody's day going? What time is it where y'all watching from? And Hawk said it doesn't taste like anything. What doesn't taste like anything? Garlic? What don't taste like anything? Hawk, let me know. What you talking about? Oh, the garlic. Oh, are you saying the one in the jar doesn't taste like anything? Or are you saying fresh garlic doesn't taste like anything? I will admit, after you have fresh garlic, and I was buying jar garlic for a while, but then I got fresh garlic one day because I was always seeing it in my Facebook group. And Hawk, I absolutely agree. When you go back to fresh garlic, you will notice that the jar garlic doesn't taste like anything, and it has a very subtle flavor. But fresh garlic is actually very inexpensive. I feel like with the jar, what you're really paying for is the convenience. You're paying for the convenience of it already being peeled and cut up. But fresh garlic tastes so much better. Okay, so we got our mirepoix on the stove. Cooking, y'all, and it's cooking. Let me just cut this garlic up real quick. We're gonna add the garlic to our mirepoix, and we're gonna start building our roux. And another thing I really like about soup is that it lasts for a couple days. So you can make a soup and literally eat it for the next couple days. And I really like that, especially if you're someone that's busy and you don't have a lot of time. You need, especially if you're working like Hawk is or like the rest of us. And you know, if you're working, you're busy. The great thing about a soup is that you can make it, put it in the fridge, and then have dinner for the next couple of days. And sometimes we need home cooked meals like that where it's like you make a lot, you know? And that's one of the things I like about soup. And you can even freeze soup if you wanted to. You can even freeze it. But yes, the garlic don't taste like anything. Ooh, I've never tried that before. I heard that before. Hawk said you can chop a whole head and freeze it in an ice tray. That's a good idea. So when we had the Thanksgiving marathon and I was going back to back live, before we started in the marathon I made spaghetti for a potluck. Right? That's kind of how we kicked off our Thanksgiving. What I did was I had a whole head of garlic and I peeled it and I put it in the food processor and I grinded up a lot of garlic just because I knew I had the potluck and then I knew Thanksgiving was coming right behind that. So that's another thing that you can do, you know, if you have a whole head of garlic, You can peel it all in advance and grind it up in the food processor. So you guys can see it's starting to break down. I'm just sauteing it in butter. I'm going to add my garlic, and then we're going to begin to build our roux. A lot of garlic, y'all. We not playing here. And then after I cut my garlic up and stuff, I like to kind of give my hands a rinse. Because you have like little pieces of garlic stuck to your hands. Kind of weird. So, we got that in there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our flour to this. And we're going to start, oh my goodness, it smells so delicious. With that garlic in there, wow, this smells so good. This is going to be a really good soup. And I'm not just saying that because I'm making it, but it's going to be good, y'all. Then we have our flour, and this is all-purpose flour. And we're just going to add this right in here. And the reason I like to put a roux in my soups is it because it like thickens up the liquid a little bit. You know, some people don't add roux in their stew, and I mean their stews and soups. But it's up to you. There's so many different soup recipes. So we got the flour in there. Can y'all see that? And then you just put a little bit in there. You go back to stirring it. Yeah, you just keep doing that until all the butter is like incorporated and like it's all looking pretty thick. And it smells so wonderful. And we haven't even added any seasonings into here yet. This is all just mirepoix, garlic, and now flour and butter. But I'm telling you, this mirepoix is a game changer. This is one of the first things that we learn in culinary school is a mirepoix. We learn the mother sauces. You know, like just like the basics of cooking that you may not know or you may not be able to get on a day-to-day basis. And another thing that you can do if you want, you can always add stewed tomatoes to any of your soup recipes. Yo, you know what soup I want to do with you guys? Okay, so I want to do the broccoli cheddar soup, but I also want to show you guys my chicken tortilla recipe. I made chicken tortilla soup a while ago. I didn't do a live, but I did a short. That soup right there is so good, especially when you get the little tortilla strips. Woo. So, yes, y'all, it is soup season. And this is originally what I wanted to do in season 3. But we had just been up here cooking Foodie Gang, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm going to go a little bit longer. The longer you go for your roux, the darker it'll get. And say, for instance, I was making gravy, and I wanted my gravy to be dark brown. What I would do is I would cook my roux for a longer time and let it get that color on there. Now, this Saturday we're going to be making biscuits and gravy. And the roux that I do for that, I'm not going to make it dark because we're just making biscuits and gravy, which normally has like a whitish color to it. So, I'm telling y'all, Foodie Gang, these sauces are so important. a good sauce can really make or break your dish. And if you have a nasty sauce, your food is gonna automatically be nasty. But if you have a good sauce, your food is gonna be delicious, and people are gonna want to eat it. So, sauce making is so important. One day, I'm going to do a sauce making course. Okay, so I'm going to add in my chicken stock. And what you want to do is you want to add a little bit of chicken stock or chicken broth. You want to add a little bit, let that cook a little bit, let the roux cook. Stir it around and add some more, like the same thing that we did with the flour. And Hawk said soy sauce can help it too. Yes, I have heard a lot of good things with soy sauce. And I know a lot of people use soy sauce instead of using salt because they feel like it's a better way to get sodium in your dish. Somebody was telling me, Chef Quinn was telling me when I make a soup, I think he said water, soy sauce, and oyster, or I think it was mushrooms. I don't remember if it was oyster. And he said that that would make a good broth. So one day we'll have to try that out for the game. But, you know the thing I love about cooking? Is there's so many different recipes to try. There's so many different cooking methods. And it's just like the possibilities are endless. And every time you step into the kitchen, you can create a whole new dish. And I think that that is a lot of fun. I think I love that part. I love like just being able to create whatever I want to create, being able to make my own food, and which I do, you guys, Foodie Gang, is I write my own recipes. So I think that's I love writing recipes. So we're gonna add that chicken broth, and I'm gonna do 2 containers of chicken broth. But Hawk, what did you eat today? What did y'all eat today, Foodie Gang? So I'm just gonna make sure this counter is all the way dry, and then I don't think I'm gonna need these. Y'all, it smells so good in my house right now. You can smell that garlic. You can smell the mirepoix. It just smells so good in here. It's like, you know when you go to somebody's house and it just smells good, you're like, oh, what's that? What you got on the stove over there? What you got on the stove over there? It smells so wonderful. And I'm just giving it a good stir to make sure that I don't have any clumps of roux on the bottom. During this process, Foodie Gang, even when you're making a sauce that has a roux in it, you want to make sure that the roux doesn't stick to the bottom, and you want to stir it every so often. And at this point, I like to keep my pan on medium heat. Sometimes I'll even turn it up just to cook, to make sure that the roux cooks out, so that when you're eating it, you're not getting a flour taste. So, chicken and potato veggie soup. We got our chicken here, and we got our potatoes here. And we have a couple of our seasonings over here. We got black pepper, Italian seasoning, roasted garlic and herb seasoning, Montreal chicken, and we have our sea salt. So y'all, it's going down over here. We out here cooking. Oh, I almost forgot about her. We got Tabitha over here too. Tabitha was in the back hiding, but she finna get cooked too. So, and it smells wonderful. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit more just to make sure that my roux really cooks out of here. And yes, y'all, making the soup is so easy. And on my Facebook group, I see them making soups all the time. And I said, I gotta make me a soup. So I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit more. And at this point, the roux has already like been dissolved and it's already mixed in there well. So I can add a lot of chicken broth in and be okay. The next thing we're going to do while we wait for this to kind of like boil and get real hot, we're going to start putting our seasonings in here. And I got my list over here. So we got our Italian seasoning going in. We're going to use sea salt. That is my salt of choice that I like to use. And we got some black pepper. You know, black pepper I feel is a game changer, and when I run out of black pepper at home, I be upset. But I just feel like black pepper is needed. And we're only going to put a little bit of this in here because some black peppers are not that strong. But I will say this Kirkland brand of black pepper I think is pretty strong. It's not the same as fresh ground black pepper, but it has a good little bite to it. And then we got Tabitha. We're going to put Tabitha in there. Look at how much seasonings I'm putting in here. It is not a game. And then we got our Montreal chicken seasoning. And I have been trying to get new seasonings just because I feel like I'll be using the same ones. I got all these cooking videos now. So I started to feel like I use the same seasonings. So when I went to the store, I was like, let me get some different seasonings that I don't normally get. And then we got, with soup, you want your soup to have good flavor. You don't want it to taste like nothing. And keep in mind, you can add whatever vegetables you want to this. If you want to throw in some broccoli, or if you want to put some corn in here, tomatoes, it is totally up to you. You can definitely customize your soup. Okay, so we got our handy notebook over here. Now we gotta let it cook. I'm going to put a little bit more of this in there. And at this point, I'm going to turn this up just so it can kind of like reach that boil, and then all the liquid can like really get thick. Just because the purpose of this video, we ain't trying to be here forever, foodie gang. We got to go. So y'all can just see how much flavor is in there. Okay, so earlier today I went live and I did a cheese tasting with various different types of cheeses. So definitely check out that live stream. And then the other day, I made a salad and a sandwich, and y'all, I was so mad. My phone overheated, so then the live cut off. I was so upset. So upset. But I did go live. Oh, and Wednesday. Do you guys remember hearing about the ground beef recall over Thanksgiving? Well, I took it upon myself to investigate that whole situation further, and I dropped a video on the in the video tab on my page. Check out that video. And y'all, you know how when you start looking up stuff, you start finding out stuff. That is what happened. So, check out that video on the ground beef. It was crazy. Um, when I started investigating, I started finding out some stuff. I also did a video. Did you guys hear about Keith Lee and how that whole thing about the sushi? I did a video on that as well, and you guys really, really liked it. So I'm gonna keep doing these type of Foodie Gang investigative team videos where we investigate a certain food or a certain allegation or a recall. So we're gonna keep doing those videos. Okay, I'll turn the soup up. We're kind of waiting for it to come to a boil and then for that roux to really thicken. And then we're going to add our chicken in and our potatoes. But that's it, y'all. That's soup. That's how to make a nice homemade soup for your friends and your family. And it just smells so good. I can smell the garlic. I can smell the herbs. I can never say that word right. But it just smells so wonderful. I have my carrots, celery, and onions in there. And the next thing I'm going to add is going to be the chicken. I'm kind of waiting for this to come to a boil. And then here's my chicken. It's going to be good, y'all. Okay, and then this weekend we are doing biscuits and gravy. And then for tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to go live tomorrow. On Sunday, we're going to have the Foodie Gang food panel back here. And we're going to be talking. I think the hardest part about soup is like waiting, right? It's waiting for the end, right? And so what I would do if y'all weren't here for the gang while I was waiting for this, I would start washing the dishes so that I make sure when I'm done cooking, I don't got no dishes. But I ain't gonna do that right now because y'all here. We got our bowl over here. Okay, it's kind of coming to a boil a little bit. I want that roux to really like reach its full potential and really like cook that flour out. Let it do its thing. Let it get thick. Are y'all ready for Christmas? So I started putting up my Christmas decorations. I got a little bit of them up, and I'm like, ugh, I need tape. So we're like halfway done. Halfway done. And when I do get done, I will show it to y'all. Um, yeah. And I got the cutest little tree. I wanted to do a small tree this year, so I got a tabletop tree, and it already has the ornaments and the lights are already on it, so it's just ready to go. So I wanted to get a little tree this year, so that's what I did. Okay, now that soup is getting hot, we're bringing it to that boil, letting it really get thick, letting the roux cook, um, and all that stuff. We want to keep an eye on it because we want to make sure that it doesn't boil over. And that's why when you're cooking, I would say do not walk away from the stove. Um, if it's on low, maybe, but if it's on high or medium, don't leave the stove. You ain't got nowhere to go. It ain't that serious. Keep an eye on your food. And you can see like how the sauce is starting to get a little bit thicker because of that roux. And it's starting to like reduce a little bit. Definitely getting the chicken. But this soup is gonna be even better when we add the rest of the stuff to it. Which I think I'm gonna add the chicken pretty soon here. And what I like to do is I'll test out one of the carrots. So I'll put it to the side and I'll see if I can like cut it in half. And I just check the carrots. The carrots are looking pretty good. I like to check the carrots because they are the hardest vegetable that you have. But I will check my vegetables. I think I said fruit, but I meant vegetables. I'll check my vegetables, make sure that they're soft. And one of the things about soup is the next day it'll taste even better just because the flavors have had a chance to like sit and really marinate and get those flavors. Okay, so we're gonna put our chicken and potatoes in here. And you want to be careful because you don't want it to splash when you put the chicken in there. And then we're going to put our potatoes in there as well. I don't know if I'm going to put all these potatoes in there, but we will see. And like I said, you want to be careful because you don't want it to splash. Okay, I'm going to put all the potatoes in there. I don't know what it is about good food, but it makes me so happy. There we go. We got our chicken and potato veggie soup. Almost ready to go. Let me just clean it up a little bit. And once it's like sits overnight, it'll be even better the next day. So we have chicken and potato veggie stew, veggie soup. Um, and we have just added everything in there. We want to kind of give it a minute for that chicken and those potatoes to heat up as well. And then we got our saltine crackers here. Y'all know I had to get saltine crackers because somebody said, "Do you have crackers last time?" I was like, "Oh my god, I totally forgot crackers." So I got crackers. Here we go with the crackers. There we go. That look good. There we go. There we have it, y'all. Chicken and potato veggie soup. We got our mirepoix in here. We have our garlic in here. We got our chicken. And Hawk said that looks good. Thank you so much. I really like soup. And I know that I wanted to do more soup season 3. But we have just had so many other dishes and food to cook. We're going to be up here for the next 10 years cooking. Foodie gang. We're going to be up here forever. You know, and this is, if you are someone that you're going to have a busy work week or a busy week being a mom or whatever you have going on in life, you can make a pot of soup in the beginning of the week and you can have soup for the next couple of days. And, ooh, Jim Hawk says sweet potatoes would probably be good in there too. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I have never had sweet potatoes in a soup before. I've always just done, like, I do russets or I do red potatoes. But what I will say is sweet potatoes are really good for you. So we might have to try that one day. Sweet potatoes in the soup. But I could definitely see sweet potatoes with the flavor. So let me just give it a taste and see where we're at with the flavors. Always want to be tasting your food. Wow. That just made me happy. That is really, really good. And I'm so excited to try this tomorrow after everything has had a chance to really, really sit. But it just tastes so good. Let me get another spoon. Let me try it again. Just to make sure it's really that good. And Hawk said I put all kinds of stuff in soup. I feel like once you start making soups, you just get carried away. And I will admit, I am behind on my soup making. I have not made a lot of soups this winter, but we finna get into it. Man, this soup is so good, it doesn't even need anything. It just needs to cook. And when you cook with love, your food will be good. So, foodie gang, I am behind on my soup making. So what I did was I had my sister go to Costco and give me a whole case of chicken stock, Y'all, when I say we finna have a bunch of soups on here, we finna have a bunch of soups. And I'm gonna do that broccoli cheddar here pretty soon. I might even do it tomorrow, but we'll see. We will see. I might be souped out. What do what do you guys want to eat tomorrow, Foodie Gang? What do y'all want to eat tomorrow? Ooh, I have some meatballs. Do y'all want something with some meatballs? Okay, y'all, this soup is so good. Okay, so I'm definitely getting that chicken. I'm getting the garlic. It just tastes so flavorful. And this is exactly why I was saying when you're making a soup, it is so important to build those flavors. And Hawk said, yes. So y'all want some meatballs? But I have a lot of, my freezer is absolutely full. I need to, ooh, that sounds good. Hawk said a meatball sandwich. Okay. Ooh, what did they used to, what is it called? It's called a meatball marinara. That's the one where it has the provolone cheese, the meatballs, and marinara sauce. Marinara sauce. I think it's provolone cheese and meatballs. Do y'all want that tomorrow? Okay, so my soup is getting thick. It's pretty much done. It's pretty much ready to go and done. And like Hawk said, you can add all type of stuff to your soup. If you have a lot of leftovers in the fridge, I say make them into a soup. And Hawk said, yes, okay. Y'all want, what I just said was a meatball marinara. A meatball marinara. I think I got some fries too. I think we might be able to do that. I'm gonna have to go to the store and get a hoagie roll and some that type of cheese. But I think we might be able to do that, Foodie Gang. A meatball marinara. That sounds really good. And then I can make a marinara sauce. And I have some meatballs. Alright, I see. When I come up in here, Foodie Gang, I'll be on to the next meal. And Hawk said salad. Okay, so do you want a salad on the side? I could do that too. I got some spinach. And when I eat my salads, I like to do them with spinach. Okay, so our soup is pretty much done. We are gonna get ready to plate up. Plate up. And I got my saltine crackers right here. Oh, Hawk said me too. I like arugula. When I worked in the kitchen, we had a salad bar station, and one of the like lettuce blends that was on the salad bar was actually arugula, spinach, and romaine. And arugula, I don't know if you guys have ever tried it before. It has like a peppery taste. Am I saying it right? But yeah, it has like arugula just tastes different. How would you describe arugula? I haven't had it in a while. I haven't heard anybody talk about it. But when I worked in Oregon, it was very popular. They loved arugula. Um, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you're eating a salad, you want to have dark leafy greens. They are better for you than what we commonly see, which is romaine. Romaine is good, but the dark leafy greens are better for you. And I'm trying to bend this up a little bit. Okay, so we're getting ready to plate up our soup. I'm going to do a taste test for y'all. But y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. put some money on the table, keep the stove on so that I can continue to make amazing recipes. Um, okay, so Hawk, how would you describe arugula? I think it has kind of like a peppery taste, but I haven't had it in a while. I might have to get some arugula, cause you know what? When I be up here foodie gang, I be like, oh, we never had that before, or we haven't had that before, and then it's like, this is how I get caught up in cooking all type of stuff. Because I've been thinking about how much stuff we haven't tried before. We have not done arugula on this channel. And remember I was telling you guys how I wanted to do a chicken sandwich? Maybe on the chicken sandwich we can put arugula on there. Just because I know some of us may have not had it before. Okay, I'm correct. Peppery. I remember it kind of has like a peppery taste. For me, personally, I cannot eat too much arugula. Does that happen to you too, Hawk? I feel like I can't eat too much. It starts tasting kind of weird. But I haven't had arugula in a while. Ooh, you guys know what else is good? Kale. Kale's really good as well. Okay, so we got our chicken and potato veggie soup. We got our chicken in there. We got our potatoes. We got our carrots, our celery. And so, I'm going to just plate this up. I don't want to burn my hand. Let me stop. Okay, here we go. It smells wonderful. And the next day, this is going to be even better. Okay, so Hawk said she gets heartburn if she eats too much arugula. Laugh out loud, but a mix works. Yes, I believe they would like mix arugula with spinach. Or they sometimes they'll mix it with kale, I think. But I think they would mix it with spinach. But yeah, we had a salad bar and it was really amazing. You can come and you can get all different types of lettuces. You can get all different types of toppings. And it was a good bargain. And I feel like when you eat at the salad bar at your job, you are better off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard not to go to the grill and get a burger. But when you go to the salad bar, like, you're doing a good job. So. We got our soup right here. Perfect for a cold day. And like I said, I have this big pot of soup left. So if you are looking for meals that you can make in the beginning of the week that'll last, during the week or or through the week, try soup. Soups are really great. You can utilize all your leftovers. And Hawk said, feel better and you can make a big salad and not feel weighed down. That's what a lot of the people that worked at the place would be saying, is that when they eat a heavy meal, it would be hard for them to go back to work. So sometimes they kind of wanted to eat light. Because if you have to, like, if you're halfway through your shift, you have lunch, right? You don't want to eat a heavy meal so that you can't go back to work. And so a lot of them would be saying that, like, sometimes they wanted a salad. Ooh, you know what, Hawk? You're right. Beans. Yes. The the great thing about soups is that you can put, like Hawk said earlier, you can put all different types of ingredients in there. Okay, so some of the soups that I want to make with you guys are broccoli cheddar. We definitely got to make that. The foodie gang has been asking for that. Y'all have spoken. We got to make a chicken tortilla soup, and we are definitely gonna put beans in that soup. And that meatball sub sound good. Sound real good. Too good almost. Yes, broccoli cheddar, chicken tortilla, and I want to do another vegetarian soup with you guys as well that doesn't have cream in it, but it's like vegetarian. So, okay, so for Saturday, for our Saturday foodie gang breakfast, we are going to be doing biscuits and gravy. I'm going to try my best to get here early so that, because I have something to do that day. Try to get here early, knock that out. We're going to have breakfast. We're going to sit down and chat. Ooh, Hawk said chicken and dumplings. Yes, I agree with that. Chicken and dumplings is delicious. My dad would make a really good chicken and dumplings. It was so good. But isn't this beautiful? Like, you know when you go to a restaurant, right? And you can order soup before you get your entree. This would be perfect if they brought this out to your table before you got your food. This would be perfect. Oh man. So flavorful. Let me just try another bite for y'all and just y'all, and I got the crackers this time because y'all clowned me last time. I said, let me go ahead and get some crackers because I don't want nobody talking about me. I mean, just so good. So good. It's still hot, but it's so good for me. Okay, the recipe is down below. And Hawk, I already did that. He said, and tomato and grilled cheese. Okay, so I have done a tomato soup and grilled cheese before. It's on my YouTube channel. I have a budget-friendly playlist, and that is where the tomato soup and grilled cheese is. Yes, you know what? Some of you guys may not have been here in the beginning, which is why I like to reshare and repost my old videos, because 907 Goodies has only been around for a year. So some of you guys may have just gotten here. Some of y'all may have been here since day one. But we only have been here for a year and some change. And we have cooked a lot of recipes. But I do have tomato soup and grilled cheese in my budget-friendly playlist. That recipe is there. But I do want to do it again because that was a budget-friendly tomato soup. I want to make tomato soup from scratch. I got an immersion blender. I want to do the whole thing from scratch. But that is why I like to recook or like try my own recipes again. For those of you guys who didn't see it, who were just getting here, you know what? But tomato soup and grilled cheese is undefeated. And I want to make tomato soup completely from scratch. I have the immersion blender, and we're going to get to it. Ooh, we have not done a chowder. Just the broth on here alone is full of flavor. We have not done a corn chowder or a clam chowder. That's another recipe that we gotta have to get down is clam chowder. clam chowder is super popular. And then corn chowder would be the equivalent to clam chowder. But if clam chowder is definitely for the vegetarians, if you're someone who doesn't like meat, you can always, try substitute it. Or clam chowder for my meat lovers, corn chowder for my vegetarians. And Hawk said, "Tis the season. I'm gonna try tomato soup with roasted peppers." When I worked in the kitchen, we would have. We actually had that a couple of times. I think it was like a roasted red pepper bisque. We had that. We had a soup station, so we would have all different types of soups. We would have. Have you guys ever had three bean chili? Three bean chili is really good too. And Lady Novo, what is going on? What is going on? She said, "Sis, you make me sick. Love when you cook good, so laugh a lot. Looks good. Is it organic, sis?" No, it is not. But if you wanted to make your dish organic, you can just purchase organic products. You can get organic chicken. My chicken is organic, but the vegetables are not. But like I said, you can always shop organic, and then that'll make the whole dish organic. But yes, we are up late night cooking session. It is 11:33 p.m. here. What time is it where you are watching from? What time is it? But I had a busy day today. I went live earlier today. Then I had to run some errands. I had to do my mommy duties. And then I had to get my Christmas decorations set up. And Hawk said it's 3:33 a.m. Well, thank you so much for spending your night with me. I like to go live at night and in the daytime because I got two different crews. We got the day crew and we got the night crew. The night crew be up late. If you are cooking and you don't have celery in your fridge, you got to get some celery. Um, Celery is great for mirepoix, great for Cajun cooking, and just great for cooking. And really adds a nice flavor profile. And Lady said, "Wow, really? It's midnight here in Cali." Um, Lady said, "I like it." Joking, sis, it just looks good and I can't eat it right now. Well, I am so sorry, lady, that you can't eat right now, but I'll take a bite for you. Um, Good food. I feel like food is life. And I feel like it is very important to eat a home cooked meal. And I feel for people that don't have someone in their life that can cook for them or don't know how to cook. Send them my way to 907 Good Eats. But you know what? It's just crazy that some people don't get home cooked meals. Like it's one of those things that we can take for granted. But I have some chicken here and I have potato with a little bit of that broth. Mm. It just makes my heart so happy. And you know when you eat soup, you don't feel guilty. It doesn't feel heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like you just so good. And then lady said, "I can't touch it. It's on the other side of the screen." And then lady said, "Oh, that's all we do mostly in my house. We cook. I cook." Yes, you guys, my whole family cooks. And so I just grew up eating good food, as y'all can see. But everybody knows how to cook in my family, and it's kind of like what you do is that the people that can cook teach the little ones how to cook. Right? But y'all, some of us are out here walking around and don't know how to cook and haven't had a home cooked meal in years and wonder why we so angry. Crazy, right? But we always cooked in my family, and it's what we do. Like this Thanksgiving, during our Thanksgiving marathon, I was telling y'all my family was coming over. Y'all, we had a good time, and the food was good. That's the important part. And Hawk, you are so right. She said we need smell-o-vision. Yes, and what they need to do is they need to have Chef Big Bank be the face of smell-o-vision when they release it. Like I will go and do y'all promo for y'all. Let's set up a deal. You know what? Like let me be the pioneer of the program. um, Lady said, here, we wives and hubby and my fam mostly so. Yes, y'all. We all cook. That's just and it is so much cheaper and you get a better product when you just cook your own food at home. Like sometimes you can go out and you can get good food, but it is a hit or miss. And a lot of times, in my opinion, that food may not be made with love. It is a difference when you cook with love. But y'all know it's late. I'm up here looking wild. Look at my hair. I gotta do something to my hair. My hair looking wild. And Hawk said, that's how my family is too. Yes, and when you have a family gathering, how do you have that without food? Like that's why we all came here. It's to eat. So yes, we always cook in my family. It's what we do. And what I'm trying to do is teaching my daughter how to cook so that she can pass on, she can know the basics so that she's informed about how to cook so that she doesn't have to grow up and solely rely on DoorDash or Uber Eats. It's like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know what's going on, but what they need to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel, learn how to cook. Learn how to cook. And lady said not too many fams like that cook, and that's crazy because if we all ate good food, would everyone be so mad? I don't know. Maybe so. Maybe that's just me being happy. But I got some chicken. I got some broth right here. Mmm. Mmm. And the best part is I have a big pot of soup. So I'm gonna give some to my sisters, and then I'm gonna save some, and then during the week when I don't feel like cooking, or on the weekend, I already have some soup ready to go. Okay, so Saturday we're gonna do biscuits and gravy, but then I have a long day ahead of me. So I know for Saturday I'm probably not gonna make dinner, and so having that soup in the fridge is really gonna help me out. Exactly, lady. Exactly. Lady said, if a woman can't cook and she get food stamps, why not practice at home, right? Yeah. And food costs too much for you to get everything pre-made or already done. No, get some celery, some carrots, and onion and chicken, and make something. But I agree. But a lot of times, a lot of us don't want to try, or we feel scared. And I want to say this: You're gonna mess up in the kitchen. You're gonna burn something. Something is not gonna taste right. But don't give up. It's so important. Um, and lady said she can't complain about not having money. She used the government. So I just saying, yes, y'all learn how to cook or at least try. I think that that makes a big difference. Like if I get with a partner and he can't cook, but he's willing to cook, I will accept that. Versus someone who can't cook and is not willing. That means you're not a team player. So I would like someone who is at least willing to cook, willing to learn. And I also want to say if you're able to teach your kids how to cook, do so. Teach them the basic skills that they need for life. Teach them how to pay bills, how to build their credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, help them. um, and why? Lady said, why? How? Laugh aloud. Just do it like Hawk said. I can't boil water. Sad. Laugh aloud. Yes, y'all. But you know what? These people that can't cook, stop allowing it. I met a guy who was saying that like no one had ever made a home cooked meal for him. I'm like, well, why are you allowing these people in your life? Why are you laying down with them and making babies with them? You need to take some accountability for your actions, sir. In my opinion. And ladies said boys too. So when they're not married, they don't have to eat trash or just anything because they can't basic cook. Oh, and you guys know what? I have talked about this with Trey first, and I still want to do this live stream where it's like an open panel. But Lady DeVoe brought up a really great point. Is that you're eating trash. So a lot of our young men have high blood pressure because they're taking in too much sodium or they're not eating right. And that comes from eating, a lot of fast food, a lot of junk, a lot of pre-made foods. It does have health complications. And I want to do an open panel about blood pressure or high blood pressure and hypertension because that does impact our communities. And that goes back to what Lady Neveau was talking about is eating bad food. You're always eating McDonald's, you're always eating Wendy's, you're always eating Burger King. That stuff will affect your body. And a lot of times that's high blood pressure and people in our communities are directly affected by that. And Hawk said, my son loves to cook too. Well, that's awesome. That's amazing. And Lady said, because we wasn't taught to eat for our blood type. You know of that. Sorry, retired nurse autonomy. Autonomy, did I say that word right? No, I have not heard of that. Taught to eat for our blood type. No, I have not heard of that. And lady said organic is cleaner, tastes the same, damn near it's good too. I have not heard of that. But see, that's why I want to do. I was talking about it when I first started 907 Goodies, but I want to do an open panel discussion on high blood pressure, hypertension, just because there's a lot of people that are affected by high blood pressure and they may not know what to do. They may not know what to eat. And then I also want to hear some personal stories of people that have experienced high blood pressure. But it all goes back to cooking. Cooking and knowing what to eat, like Lady said, is very, very important. And the reason why I talk about food and health so much, like I'll get into like diseases and all that stuff, because it correlates. It goes right back into each other. Very, very important. And like I said, it's the study of the body, sis. But no, I have not heard about that. And I am not a retired nurse, but I am a CMA, but I have a very little knowledge compared to you, lady. And okay, and Tommy. Okay, there we go. And Hawk said, yes, I have a book about that. And Lady said, I like him. I just adopted you, Hawk. You my new chat bro. Hawk is a woman. Hawk is a woman, and I know this because we had this talk before. And then Hawk said some blood types should eat meat and some are better without it. I did not know that. And that's why I love having this platform, and I'm able to talk to other, foodies, because there's a lot of information out in the world. There's no way I'm gonna know everything, and I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. There's no way to know everything, so we always got to be humble, have an open mind, and be willing to learn. And lady said, "Chat sis, even better." Yes, there are not. A lot of women in some sectors, so it is very nice. Lady said, yes, and it can help with autoimmune medical conditions that we get in blood pressure, sugar, obesity, etc. Yes, it all correlates. It all goes back into each other, and it's all very important. And before we get out of here, one of the things that is near and dear to my heart is children. And I also do make children's content at Ava's Playtime. And one of the things that I noticed is childhood obesity. And when I was younger and growing up, we ate a lot of snacks and a lot of sugar. And just knowing that, and it's been a true struggle even into adulthood. But nowadays, the child obesity has gotten out of control. And when we get to a place where, we're a much bigger platform, I would love to be able to like go into the schools and be able to talk to children about what to eat and what not to eat, because it has gotten out of control, you guys. It's kind of sad. It's just sad. It all comes down to education, knowing better, doing better, and all that stuff. And lady said, read about citizens you cook and look it up. Your blood type, if you know it, and see what it says to eat and not eat. And when you do that, you can do a live on it and tell us what you discovered. It's healthy. I would definitely have to do that. I never thought to. I never have heard of this before. And Hawk said, each one, reach one, teach one. I agree, and I think that the education is very important. And a lot of the things that we know now, we may not have known back in the day, or whatever the case may be. But now that we know better, we can try to like do better. And then lady said, download the app, sis. What app? Did I miss the name of it? Did you already say it? Okay, what is the name of the app? But I don't know my blood type off the top of my head, but I do have some medical papers, and so I'm sure it is in there. Oh, okay, for the blood type. Okay. Wow, lady came through with the facts. She came through with the facts. She came through with the facts. She said, "Look, this is what you need to do." And that's why I love talking to y'all, foodie gang, because you guys know so much about food, and I know a lot about food. So when we come together, it's just like a lot of information that gets passed along. And Hawk said there's a book called Eating for Your Blood Type. I'm surprised I never heard of this before. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, lady said it's called Eat Right for Your Blood Type. Well, I'm curious to see, like, have I been eating right? What they gonna say? What they gonna say? But y'all, we've been up here for almost 2 hours. I was planning to go for 1 hour, but I'll say this: when you have good conversation and you're having a lot of fun, it is easy to be talking up here for a long time. And lady said it will help people to not get so big in weight, breathe better, healthy, because we aging. Yeah, you know what? We're only getting older. I agree with that statement. I completely agree with that. But lady, I'm so happy to see you. And Honk, I'm happy to see you. And I'm happy that you came back from your vacation and it was great. And so thank you guys all so much for coming in to my live. And this is a late night cooking session. So I appreciate you guys all stopping by. I will check out that app. Oh my goodness, CC, I ain't seen you in a minute. I ain't seen you in a minute. And lady said you healthy from your PCP. Since I advise you do this, especially with your baby girl while she's young. Now I have MS, and we don't know if it's because of that. So help her not to get like that, okay? That's why I'm sharing. Well, thank you so much for sharing your testimony and um, sharing your testimony, your story, and doing what you can to help other people, because that's honestly what it's all about. Um, I do, y'all. So I have a long medical history, and I'm about to release a video, um, sharing some of my testimony with you guys about everything that I've been through. But I do go to the doctor once a year. I go to my PCP. I get my labs done. I go to the eye doctor. Um, it's a lot. So I'm gonna share that story with you guys here in a couple of days. I'm gonna work on a video and share some of my testimony with you guys. And Hawk said, thank you. Have a great night. And Cece said, I've been taking time to myself. That's why you didn't see me that long. Yes, Cece. But you know what? Sometimes we need to take a break and we need to take me time. That is understandable. Um, and lady said, night new chat, sis Hawk. Thank for the assist. And I have learned some great information, and I will definitely look into that. But thank you guys so much, Foodie Gang, for dropping knowledge. Y'all have a good night or a good day, depending on where you're watching from. And I will see everyone next time. I'll see y'all in the next one. And then Hawk said, yes, lady, you have a good night too. I sure will. It's almost midnight here, and we is up late cooking in the kitchen. We made a chicken and potato veggie soup, and I got my saltine crackers right here. I got a nice big old pot of soup for the rest of the week. And CC said, take time to yourself, take a break off. Yes, I agree with that. And shortly here, we are going to have a mid season break, probably after December. But until then, we're going to be back here all the time cooking it up. Thank you guys all so much. I'll see y'all in the next one. Foodie gang, gang, gang.